Well, welcome back, everybody. This is number 3, day 3, stream 2. Erica Sandstrom here, better known as Green Screen Gal. So excited for this one. I love this man. He makes me laugh very often. He doesn't realize how much. We have Dr. Michael Harvey here. Real quick, thank you to Swivel for being our sponsor and making this possible for us. Brisk for your awesome t-shirts, and to our daily sponsor, School AI. So, Dr. Michael Harvey, let me bring him up and I'll tell you more about this fabulous man. There he is, the man, the legend, right there. Right there. Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you more. Dr. Michael Harvey is the director of e-learning at Marble Boys. That doesn't work. Boys College, located in the sunny town of Blenheim. Did I say that right?
Blenheim. Yeah.
Blenheim, at the top of New Zealand's South Island. This is, I'm obsessed. I want to go there so badly. With a passion for science education and commitment to innovative teaching methods, Dr. Harvey has been an instrumental in integrating digital technologies into the curriculum to enhance student understanding and engagement. An advocate for global collaboration in education, and that is so true. Dr. Harvey is also recognized as Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, Minecraft Global Mentor, Flipgrid Global Ambassador, Wakelet Ambassador, Apple Teacher, and Level 2 Google Educator. Dude, you rock. His educational research interests lie in the use of digital animation to simplify complex scientific concepts linked to cognitive psychology. Dr. Harvey's dedication is an e-learning extends beyond the classroom. He is actively involved in the, oh boy, is that Tanzania? Tanzanian?
Tanzania.
I have a student from Tanzania. Tanzanian Root in Schools SDG Laboratory schools, contributing to educational outcomes worldwide. His leadership in esports at Marble Boys College reflects his belief in the importance of diverse extracurricular activities and shaping well-rounded individuals. I'm not worthy. So, Doc, your slides disappeared. So why don't you share that again?
Yep, so I'm going to bring the slides up again. Yep, no worries.
Isn't he great? His accent's so fun. No worries.
Yep. Fashion chops, yeah. Okay. No, we'll share a entire, there you go. That's now up. Good, I can actually share it that way. So hopefully you can see my slideshow coming up.
Yes, brilliant. Absolutely. And
okay, yeah. So thank you for your kind words. We do have a proverb in New Zealand that a kumara does not speak of how sweet it is. So yeah, humility is an important part of being a New Zealander. So I could not do it without the help of others like yourself and Amanda for this amazing week of AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So right. Yeah, I'm in lunch break at the moment, so I better race through this.
Yes, honestly, if you go over, a little bit, that's okay. You just go, you do your thing. You do
okay,
your
right. So
all right.
I'm going to be focusing on empowering educators through integrating AI into assessment strategies, because a lot of us are concerned, obviously, about our students and assessments and the consequences around artificial intelligence. So first, basically, an understanding of artificial intelligence, what it actually is. So essentially, AI is algorithms that can do tasks that humans can do. Probably a bit more efficiently and faster. The advantage of AI is that large amount of data that it can utilize, which can be a good thing, but it can also lead to darker things, which I will discuss later in this presentation. Essentially, large language models, which is what we're most familiar with, are a statistical model. They basically have chains of words, they break them up into numbers, and then the algorithm then links those numbers to similar numbers. So you're basically getting predictive text on steroids to create responses. So in terms of responses and using differentiated instruction with artificial intelligence, I tend to use the Prepare model of Dan Fitzpatrick, who's a United Kingdom educator. And that is the idea of a prompt in generating assessments. So for example, I want to create an assessment to test my level 1 science class. The prompt's kind of basic level. Then I provide a role. Okay, so from a New Zealand perspective again, so I am a level 1 NCEA physics teacher who's teaching about astronomy. and a lesson in astronomy. I then get into the nitty-gritty of the prompt with explicit. So explicit is basically giving the prompt instructions around refining it. So you're looking at, say, the assessment will be an essay, which has to be 300 words, and it's about the phases of the moon and how they interact with the tides, for example. And that's very closely linked to parameters as well. So the parameters are this assessment is going to be done over the case of an hour. It'll integrate critical thinking and collaboration potentially. So that parameters are again giving the large language model an idea of working with it in terms of creating an effective response. And also you'll be looking at asking the artificial intelligence to recognize using active voice to kind of motivate the students. And also this learning task is for 14 and 15-year-olds. And that used to be the old model, the PrEP model, which Amanda also has it in her book. But now that's been extended to have also the ARNE, which is the ask, rate, and emotions. So the ask is, I think, quite an interesting aspect of prompt engineering. You then ask the artificial intelligence, so how can I potentially improve on this particular assessment? As an example. So for me, it was quite informative because it basically said, well, how about possibly incorporating some universal design for learning strategies, or being in New Zealand, how about considering the cultural responsiveness to your assessment? So it's actually, the AI is working more as a co-worker. It might seem a little bit sad or quite innovative, depending on your point of view, that I have basically my phone set up for voice. And so I do these prompts verbally, and it's quite interesting. It kind of ends up being like a co-worker by your side, kind of giving you other examples of how you can improve on your assessments. And with the new ChatGPT 4.0 or Omega, it's actually even more spooky because the kind of conversation is getting more and more conversational. So yeah, that's quite an interesting development in the last 24 hours. And then we have the rate part of developing your instruction, which is rating, or getting the AI to rate your assessment out of 10. And again, giving ideas of feedback of, well, how can I improve on this assessment? And then emotions, always say please and thank you to your AI overlords, because you'll never know when they're going to take over. And also the idea of the tone of your assessment, so the sentiment, so making it positive so that the students are keen to be seeing this as an opportunity to learn through assessment. So in terms of choosing the right AI tools, I'm a big fan of AI tools, obviously doing the Week of AI, but you've also got to be aware that it should be the pedagogy driving the tool, not the tool driving the pedagogy. The idea of, oh, here's this really cool tool, how can I incorporate it in my classroom? But should be, I've got this educational problem, how can the AI tool possibly fix that? So an example using around assessment is, in a kind of sneaky way, is I also use School AI. And so I can use the back end of that to see how my students are interacting with artificial intelligence, what kind of questions they're asking. And I use that assessment information in the back end to kind of direct my teaching and the students' learning for the gaps in their knowledge and how can I extend them. So that's using the evidence from the assessment to drive the learning, because the important thing is that the AI is working with you and it's a collaboration where you're actually getting more, enhancing your teaching through the use of the artificial intelligence tool. In terms of designing AI enhanced lessons, again, it's using the prompt engineering. You can see that wonderful image there using DALL-E of Albert. So I've got a whole series of videos where I've got Albert walking through Harvard University and MIT discussing his physics theories, and students have also designed that so I can, it's a different way to show learning. Okay, and AI allows me to do that. We can even do it in the original German using HeyGen as another tool. So it's about the idea that the AI is not just doing the same things with like, oh, let's generate a worksheet. You're actually extending your teaching and by inference, your learning through using these the AI to actually improve on learning, which is why in one of the previous slides, as I speak very quickly with my New Zealand accent, I just realized, that I integrated critical thinking and literacy and the ideas around collaboration, those soft skills, into my assessment. We tend to forget about those skills, but they are very important for our learners. So I bake those into my assessments as well when I'm generating them with artificial intelligence. So in terms of AI-driven assessment, the model I've been recently using, dare I say he's an Australian, but still my dear Australian friend, Brett Salakis, who I've had conversations around assessments with, and he uses something called the PRISM model. Okay, so big up to Brett, even though he's Australian. Pavlov is New Zealand, Brett.
Hey, Doc, I'm not sure your slides are moving. I'm so sorry.
Oh, really? We're up to the AI-driven assessment.
Click on the Chrome tab and see if they're.
It's not a Chrome tab. I'm presenting the. Sharing.
Yeah. Okay. It's still on the same slide. It was on the same slide. I just realized it. I was listening, but I wasn't watching.
Oh, so what slide was it on?
The first one.
Oh, what? Oh no, that's terrible.
That's all right. You can go over. That was my fault. That's my fault because I was listening to you, but I was watching.
Okay, no. Okay, I'll present. Yeah. So share screen. Share screen. Maybe if I share the whole entire screen process, and it'll be like the Matrix or Inception for a while. And
well, if you have sound, we can deal with that then. But
okay. So can you see new slides now? Are they moving?
Now they're moving. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Yes. So that's my fault. So go ahead and flip back.
Okay. That's no problem. So basically, when I was talking, it was just a pretty slide as a prompt. So understanding AI, a brain. Then we had the prepare model with just some equations. Yep. And then we had the right tool with the metaphor of the tool, physical tool being the AI tool. Cool. Okay. Actually, it was more important this slide had Prism. Then it was designing AI enhanced lessons. So that's Albert, who I designed, my students designed to explain relativity. And then we have the Prism model. So can you see that? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it looks beautiful.
Okay,
sorry,
beautiful.
That was my fault. I'm so happy.
That's actually, no worries because this is as the text. Okay. Okay, so this is Brett again, Aussie. Go the Warriors. Okay, so in terms of the Prism model and designing my assessments for my students, the assessment has to be purposeful. Okay, so you're focusing on the objectives of the assessments, what you want to get out of it. Okay, it has to be responsive, highlight the feedback aspect. Okay, so feedback is highly critical in any assessment with artificial intelligence. This is one of the reasons I'm using School AI's chatbot features. So it gives them students instant feedback and also gives me instant feedback at the back end of how they're interacting with artificial intelligence, what kind of questions they're asking. It also has to be integrated. It combines AI with human elements within the task. Okay, so as an example, we're doing a lesson on building music videos with Pseudo and Clipchamp. And so basically it's combining the AI, but also the human element is that they also have to adjust the responses they're getting from the AI, because the AI is trying to make rhyming couplets. But I'm a physics teacher, so I also want to make it linked to the science. So basically, I also have to go around the classroom, making sure the students are on task and seeing what areas they need assistance with. So the human is core to the whole process. And it's also using a secure methodology, so emphasizing data protection and privacy. So our particular school uses Microsoft Copilot because we know with the contract we're using that information is kept within the school. It's not sent out to train the large language model. So if we're going to be using AI tools in assessment, be careful about where that information is going. So for example, Google Gemini, all that information goes to Google. They hold it for at least 3 years. It's used to train the large language model. You don't really want student information or school information to be going out to the wider world in terms of training the models. Also in terms, so there we go. So this is actually an infographic, which I can share later, potentially, okay, which goes through it. So purposeful, responsive, integrated, secure methodology with AI embedded feedback. So not only they're getting feedback from the AI, the large language models, but they're also getting feedback from me. And another aspect too is at the end of assessments, I'm having small conversations with the students, 5 to 10 minutes, to see they've grasped the concept, the process they've used to show their learning and ways to improve. So that way, it's always a process of me running around feverishly around the class while they're doing these projects, trying to just answer their questions. So it gives me more time face to face rather than doing that boring kind of talk and talk. And so the learning is really happening in the classroom at that time. So in terms of implementing the PRISM method, so I've briefly touched on that. So as an example for the PRISM method, let's use an example from my level 2 physics class. Okay, so we're doing a assessment, for example, on a scientific investigation. So they're doing the experiment, they're writing the reports. Okay, and I actually had a great conversation about using the AI today in class just before this webinar. So the boys are basically putting their first drafts into artificial intelligence, and they're also putting the rubric that I've given them in terms of where they are, and asking the artificial intelligence to say, well, can you assess what I've written so far in terms of my first draft, and what level am I at, and how can I move to the next level, and feedback around that. So rather than me giving that first feedback, the artificial intelligence is. And then I'm also walking around the classroom, asking them questions, seeing if they're understanding what they're doing as well. So it's kind of like having a co-teacher really in the classroom. And then after their submission, there is that small conversation, making sure that they've grasped the concept while they're doing their assessment. And it's all locked down through Microsoft Teams and using Microsoft Copilot. Yeah, that's the case study from the classroom. There we go, easy. Yeah, so the ethical considerations for me are really where this data is going. Be careful about the tools you're using, because some of them just go to a large language model. It's used to feed the large language model, to train the large language model. We don't want that from student safety and school safety standpoint. So you've got to be very careful to read the fine lines in terms of the AI tools that you are using. And in terms of preparing for AI integration, so yeah, I see artificial intelligence as being more a co-teacher, working with me rather than against me, trying to take my job. So there will be two types of teachers, basically. There'll be those teachers who work with AI and those who are unemployed, because basically artificial intelligence is here to stay, and we have to be able to add the human aspect and put the human and the relationships between our students and us as teachers at the heart of the use of artificial intelligence in terms of assessment. Yeah, that's where I see the future of AI in education. So yeah, in conclusion, the PRISM model, using the prompt model as well, is an effective way, I think, of creating bespoke, effective assessments in the world that we now have with artificial intelligence, so that we can drive forward as educators and also teach our learners how to implement artificial intelligence and incorporate artificial intelligence into their learning. Yeah, so was there any questions in the chat? As I go back to the thing. Here we go.
A lot of wonderful comments. You're just so fun to watch. You really are. I mean, not only is your accent amazing, but you're just hysterical. And I love joking around with you on Twitter. You're so funny. No, that was really powerful. Sorry about your slides, but you showed them anyway. It looked great. And yeah, let's see. I love this one from Michelle. Check this out. This will make you happy.
Thank you.
He is the future, and it's so true. Absolutely. Anybody have any questions? Except for, are we supposed to see your slides? Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was that
was my fault. Amanda said, he's joining all the way from Thursday. So
yeah, I live in the future. I literally am in the future. Yeah,
you are in the future. Yes.
Yes, it's midday.
Oh, now I know what that means. Oh, and the song at the beginning is his. He did win one of the top 3. I picked it. I begged for it. I said, that's mine. I said, okay, can we get the image of the PRISM graphic somewhere?
Yeah, I'll talk to Amanda, and the best way to do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Doc Harv, always great to see you. Always nice to get your insight, especially when you just said about relationships and the human in us. And that's exactly, that should be a t-shirt, a poster, everything. Dr. Harv
Yeah.
says. So I
Well,
think you
that's
should.
it. So yeah, in New Zealand we have this word. It's basically whakawhanangatanga, and it's a
Watch your
long. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah. So whakawhanangatanga is basically the verb for building relationships, but always at the center of it is the word owl, which is always you. So you.
Oh,
There we go.
look at you closing out the night with that beautiful statement. That sounded like a terrible swear word, but that was really cool.
Yeah.
What was it again? You got to.
Whakawhanangatanga.
Oh,
There you go.
I can't wait to go to New Zealand someday. That's pretty
Indeed.
cool. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, thank you for this lovely evening. We had another incredible day, incredible evening of Week of AI. Don't forget this Saturday, we dive into some workshops. So go check those workshops out. And also
karaoke as well. I'm looking forward to.
yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Also karaoke Masked Singer is on Friday. It will not be recorded, but you can sign. You have to sign up separately for that. So you have to show up. It's going to be a party. And thanks again to Swivel and Brisk and School AI. And don't forget to join our map. Our map is bit.ly Week of AI map, all lowercase, so we can see where you are in the world, but also to connect. That's what we're here for. We're here to connect with people, like-minded people, and people that are doing similar things as you. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and you have a wonderful day in the future. Tell us how bright the future is.
Yep.
Okay, bye. See you, Doc Harvey.
Indeed.
See you, everybody. Good night.
Arera.
Hello and welcome to the Premium AI Strategy Accelerator, the ultimate program for schools, colleges and universities and businesses that want to lead in the AI revolution. Before you apply, let me tell you how this program works. Who is this program for? We focus on helping a hand-picked team of 6 to 10 change makers in your organization. And this elite innovation squad will become your internal startup, pioneering AI-driven solutions that define your organization's future.